Hello. Oh, give me a second. I have an echo. Echo, besser. Nice. Wait, wrong screen. Hey there. Turn on the lights. It's better. Still. So, giving you the full dose today. Oh, okay. Let's get rid of this. Oh, yeah. GoPro arrived. Windows driver still not working, so hooked up via fake Mac. It's for the other project. I just wanted to test it, and guess what? Wait, program. Guess what? It's still running. Okay, ignore this here. The 3 is wrong. The 4 down here is the one we want, just showing that this still works. And actually, let's get this out of the way. Just wanted to show to you that this is actually not faked. So this is our get out of the way. This is our this is the output from our Raspberry Pi, still running since last week. Last week being Tuesday. I'm constantly getting the days mixed up. Today's Thursday. We streamed on Thursday and added this nice. Can I do it? This nice overlay thingy here with images. It's an image. It's not text, so it's a bit sad. But added that. We can actually overlay that to our stream just by the press of a button. So turn it on and turn it off and turn it on again, which is super nice. So yeah, I'm gonna kill this now because nobody really needs that and it's just gonna distract us. Here's a project and that gives us a little bit more space. I'll try not to make it too big today. Actually, there's dead space here. I want to relay out everything. So to get rid of this here, which is currently hard-coded HTML that's uploaded to S3 and then served with an OBS overlay. And I just want this to come from here. But obviously here we have the problem that text there is an image. And so to change this image, I mean, what I could do is every time I stream, I could open GIMP. I actually want to see the overlay here because then I see what you see and don't constantly type behind stuff. But so open banner title. So obviously I could go in here and then come on. Oh, I interesting because I didn't save the text layer, so I could edit this and then upload it and reload it. And really, nah. Let's have real text rendering, shall we? So what I want is, instead of having the logo, is it the logo block here? It's a logo. Is it this one here? I mean, we have this nice disabled is true. So what we could just do is scp the config to the Pi and just restart this. And now if we go here, that's not the logo block. Actually, this, what? Did I just edit? This is better. Oh, give me a second. Give me a second, cause I'm a bloody idiot. File open recent. I opened the wrong project. Don't ask me why. So let's try this again, shall we? So this here is the. Oh, we already prepared this. So basically, this is the banner test we just showed. So wait. So this is the banner title here, the hard-coded stuff. And if I copy this now, and I actually want hot reloading and restart this, now you see the title is gone here from the list, and it's gone here as well. So we already added, end of last stream, remember, we added this element text here, and actually the end and home key on Windows and Mac constantly drive me crazy when I switch back and forth. I think the Mac version is better, but yeah. So this is disabled, and this text here is basically this unsupported element type text. So shall we make that supported? I mean, as usual. Oh, that's the pi. So we have the block element, right? So let's make that a text element. As usual, we start from the block element, text element, add it to Git so we don't forget. We will open it up and do a search replace. Actually, we can do a find replace, and we want block element to replaced by text element, right? And then we just replace all, and that should work nicely. Obviously, the type here is text, and we're getting up to speed, so we're adding that to the lib. And yes, it's time to extract that into its own library, but I want to do something else first. So we copied the block element, we added the module to the project. Obviously, the cheval here, our hard-coded nemesis. This mapping here will become dynamic. So this is a text element factory now. Obviously, we have to adding a new element is super fast, but it's so repetitive. So, and whenever something becomes repetitive, I want to kill it with fire, so I don't have to repeat myself. So basically now we have a text element. If I do a cargo run locally here, oh, I should have run release. It's probably going to be that slow. So technically I still have to do some work stuff to do, but I have like an hour and a half, 2 hours where an automated build is running. So I'm using that for, we have a game coming up sometime I cannot talk about. Oh, that's nice. The camera just fell over. So we just added this second block here. That's the, oh, this is slow. Let's just try this again with release. And if we go to the config file, let's move this up by 100 pixels just to so you see it's actually that block. So it's this block here, this magenta block, and we actually want the text to be rendered on that, right? So I'm gonna give you this screen for a second because I forgot to open my web browser. Nice, I don't have no Firefox. I don't want to install an update now. By the way, I turned up the audio because it was a bit low the last time, so I hope the keyboard is not too loud now. I will check after the fact. So let's go back to this, and actually let's go to the program so I see what you see. Oh, I need some powder. It's different discussion. So this is the project, but what I really want to do is we go to crates.io, and if you remember, we had this other project, OMT, where we had some text rendering, and I believe, yeah, we used rusttype there, which is a pure Rust TTF implementation, I believe. So if I just search for TTF, I get TTF parsers, SDL. I want a pure Rust version, and I think the last time we searched, we ended up. Sorry about that. Not sure what's going on here. We ended up with rusttype. Rusttype bug fix. Rusttype looks interesting. I mean, that's what we basically want, right? I'm surprised. Font rendering with Scalium. Word wrapping for ball. We might steal some of that later, but for now we just want text rendering, right? So wait. Let's go here. Can you please load this page, my friend? I just clicked here. So step 1. I'm not sure why you are constantly restarting if I keep quitting you. Thank you. Not even using it right now. So cargo toml. We add a dependency on rusttype, and then we just do a cargo check just to download the crate and everything while looking into this. So basically, we have our text element here, and we don't do anything fancy, no smart pre-caching on render. We just render the text we're supposed to do, and we're not gonna lay out anything. We just take the upper left corner. We're not gonna clip. We just brutally put text on the screen. Step 1. So actually, just to have something to click, gonna do the overlapping trick. So basically here we want to say, okay, we have what we have. We have text, and that's a string. That's a string. And I believe we have self text config get string or text, and the default is no text at all. Obviously down here we have to say text. Different ways of doing this, but so here we have text now. So if I just run this now and I compile this for a while, the Rust compiler is slow. I mean, that's the main downside, but if you look here now, we have the element config and the text is in here, so that's 90% there. Yeah, you wish. So we need to find a font first. So free TTF. I want something simple, so monospaced. No. Maybe this wasn't the... Free monospaced coding font. In the end, I don't care. Can we just have like something like Roboto, or I just want a font. Fira code. I hope that is legal to use that. So license, 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 license. No license? Okay. Can I just get the... So we copy this link location because touch. I'm not going to put that into I'm not going to put that into the repository. I'm not sure about... For local testing, it's fine. Oh, can I have a TTF? Can I have a TTF? You know what we're gonna do is... and then we're gonna open TTF Fira code medium. Yeah, that looks good. So we copy TTF Fira code medium TTF to the data directory. So we have the Fira code medium TTF here. And actually in our config file, we say font is data slash this. That's to be handled better. We need system discovery and stuff like that. But for now, I think we're fine. Step 1, get something rendering. Step 2, clean it up. So we have a font that we can use. So how do we use this? Is there some documentation? Going to the repo, hoping for example code. No. Oh, come on. That's not nice. Documentation. Getting started. So glyphs, yeah, different characters. Where is actually... Look at ASCII RS supplied with the crate. Okay. Maybe we should just do this. Look at ASCII RS supplied with... ASCII RS. Nice. It's not in there. They don't have an example of how to use it. That's not nice. Okay. Font implementation, pub, metrics, glyph count. I mean, remember that other project we had? We already went through all of this, so if that documentation doesn't work, I know that we used this before, right? So font, load OM font, load, new font, add glyphs, add pixel, split glyphs. Now where is the actual font renderer? So here's a create. That happens when you don't prepare this stuff. Okay, so what do we do here? We load a buffer to the end, so that's basically the input, that's the TTF. Okay, that looks fair. So I don't want to read the font every frame, so basically here's how we get the font. No, sorry. Give me a second. This is adding the font, so how do we... It's always bad when the documentation is bad. And can you please match the case? So this is how we get a layout of a character. So what we need is this font thing here. And there, so it's basically it's this block here. So load TTF and then that stuff. So I want the whole loading in the initialization, and we will clean this up. I'm just wondering. Yep, I want this to be done here. And I'm just gonna copy this in as an example. So, okay, so chaos mode enabled. Yes, I'm not sure if this needs to be mood font file equals. We're gonna unwrap this. So it's file open self.font, and obviously yes, we should. So we do a file open, and then we just can't do this. We can't do this. And obviously a file is, as we know, in standard FS file. So switching from a whole day of writing PowerShell and C++ to Rust is giving, it's really... font file. this switching between stuff is really hard. Projects should settle down soon, and then okay, let's just do we really unwrap? Yeah, we just panic. We have better error handling on our list. We have better error handling. On our list. I just wanted to copy this to have the same formatting, and then the formatting got killed. I love you. Font, file. So at this point we should have a file or panic, right? So if I go here and fat finger the font name and then run this, we should panic. Cargo run release. Maybe want to bake in one default fallback font at some point. So we panicked because we don't have this file, and if this file exists, we don't panic. We don't do the right thing, but we don't panic. So then the usual you just create something to hold the file, and then we say font file read to end. Thanks for the auto completion, and then we just unwrap or panic. If we can't read for any reason, we really need to fix the error handling, because I'm writing so much code that relies on error handling, and then we probably don't really need the right here. It's just for the read to end. So again, we can read the font file, all is nice. So now it's getting interesting. We opened the file, we loaded it into the buffer, and now we want to create a font collection out of this. And actually I could have copied the unwrap or else panic from there. And font collection obviously is in rusttype. Yeah, we need the scaling later, so let's just put this in. I'm not sure why we don't. What? I'm pretty sure he's lying to us. Did they change the interface for Rust type? I changed the interface. Ooh. Getting started. Okay. Font try from VAC. I'm not sure why the lifetime here is static. try from vec, and that's actually the buffer. So they changed the interface of the library. So let font equals this. And then we do the unwrap or else. Obviously, we need to use font here. And we use the buffer here. What's a try from option? Oh, okay. So there's no explicit error here. So, oh, my bad. Can we just wait? I'm not sure if I like the rework of this library. I'm not sure. So, still working. And I hope that at least they implement debug or display. Wait a second. Okay, so thanks for that. Well, but we seem to have loaded a font. So we have a font now. And then we can ask a font to lay out a string. So basically we store the font. So I would say, I'm not sure if we should make this an option. I think configure should handle that. So if we configure it successful, we do we want a static lifetime on that one? I mean, basically what could go wrong? Oh, the buffer is gone. I hope it's copying the contents. So yeah, let's make this an option font. Better safe than sorry. We don't have a font by default. And then here we say some font. And then in the render, basically we say, okay, if let's font equals self.font, then we do something. In any other case, we just skip. And this dummy code probably can go in like a second. I just leave it there because I'll need some of the elements. Oh yeah, we want to borrow this font here. So we're still rendering, and now we have a font, and basically we have this font glyphs for chars. This looks like a nice convenience function. So what we can say is, and this is self.text. It's an iterator, so we have to do some stuff in a minute. But right now, I just want that. So let's scale equal scale. Is it just defines the size of render in pixels? So what the? So it's just a struct equals scale. I don't know, 20 by 20. And actually, wait. Oh, we can just say scale uniform. Uniform. Wrong key! So we have a scale, and let's start equal, and that's just a vector 2, I guess, so it's a point. And I love how they just auto-generate the documentation, and then so this looks, so it's just point, but point. Okay. So we probably just can say, let's say point. Let's just start at self dot x as f32, self dot y as f32. Right, and this is probably self dot size as f32. Wasn't it size? Oh, probably we have to. Did we? Yeah, we said we have a size here, so let's use that. Size. And it's a U32. Cut and paste coding today. Yeah, a lot of cut and paste coding. Let's give it a dummy size here. So now we have a layout iterator, and actually maybe there is some sample code that we can steal. Layout paragraph, layout sentence. Would have been too nice, right? Would have been too nice. Oh yeah, we can just collect that into glyphs. And then, just for debugging, we could just iterate over it, so but I just want to get something on the screen. So these are all our glyphs, and I mean, the scale is 40/40. It starts at 10/550, and then it moves to the right by 20 pixels. Our first letter was an A, so yeah, maybe. And then it moves 20 more pixels, and then it moves 20 more pixels and 20 more, so it seems to be an evenly spaced font of 20 pixels. That's just kind of what we expect. I mean, we have the glyph now, so what does qglyph do? I'm just stealing from the library because the library doesn't have documentation, which is a bit this looks good. Can I? Thank you. So where is self.q actually rendered? Clear push there. So here it's rendering every single. Tell you what. Glyphs for, we get a glyph iter, and that glyph iter should have glyphs somewhere. I just want the, oh, there's the glyph. So a single glyph has fields omitted. Thank you has a font, has an ID. This documentation is next to useless. Are we even in the right? Yeah. So glyph has a font and an ID. Oh, it's a positioned glyph. My bad. It's a positioned glyph. Is it glyph or glyph? Glyph? I say glyph. I want this definition here. Implementation struct here. So a position glyph has a scaled glyph and a position and a bounding box. So it has a rectangle. So here's what we gonna do. Cheating. So let's say we have a function that says fill box. Right, and that gets this. Gets this. It gets it gets X as a F32 for convenience, as a U32. It gets Y as a U32. It's just our box code that should have been extracted anyway. So as U32, and it gets the height as U32, and then it gets the color as U32, right? Why does it need self.height? It doesn't. So what I want to do here is step one. This box we've been rendering here, I'm just going to say fill box, and then I'm going to say buffer width height self.x, self.y, self.width height, and self.color. So basically our box code from here is extracted into a function which we should have done years ago. Yeah, years as in last week. But and then this is obviously, oh, let's just name I'm just lazy. So, and this is the height of the box being rendered. This is the iterator y. And this is the iterator x that goes from this to width. And that is just iterator x plus x. And if x is larger than width and otherwise. And now we have a whole bunch of, oh, we're in the trade. Okay. This should be in a helper. And obviously here we want color. I'll tell you why we're doing this in a minute. Basically here we say text element fill box. And it could just be standalone. Accidentally hit the right key. So this is rendering this purple box, magenta box here, but I don't want the magenta box. So let's disable that, but just proving we can still render boxes on the screen in the right place. So what I actually want to do is for g in glyphs. And this is a positioned glyph, right? So a positioned glyph has a bounding box, and here we're going to cheat. So let bb equal, I cannot type g.bb. Isn't it BB. Positioned glyph. So I want the pixel bounding box. Just to know where it roughly is, And you're actually gonna say if let some borrow this, and then do something with it, right? And now we have a bounding box in screen coordinates. And what could we do with a box in screen coordinates? I mean, this is a self.bb, and that's come on. So this is a rect, right? How does a rect work in this? Rect probably has a min-max point. Okay, so it has a min and a max point. Is that public, or do I have getters? It's public. So I have a min and a max, and the point probably has an x and a y. So let x equal bb.min.x. Let y equal bb.min.y. Let width equal bb.max.x minus x, and let height equal bb.max.y minus y. So now we have a position, a width, and a height. And you know what you can do with that? We could just say text element fill box. And now I'm gonna be lazy. Well, that didn't really help, but so x, y, w, h, and self.color. Yeah. So we lay out the text, we get all the glyphs, and then we get the bounding boxes of the glyphs and just fill them. So I miss the auto conversion of C++. Yeah, this could be negative if we blah. So if you look closely here, actually let's increase the font size a little bit here. Maybe it's points, not pixels. So can you see that? Yeah, you can. Let's put this here. We're only interested in this part here. So if you look closely, we have Atem, so big A here, the T, the E, the M, a space, the ampersand, a space, the uppercase R, U, S, T, the space, a dash, and then a hash 0004. So our layouting already works. I mean, duh. Text rendering done, right? Maybe not completely. So if we go back here, because who was that? No? Okay. Basically, this is an add glyph, fit glyph. Oh, nice. It's explicit set pixel. And here we have a blit image, which is nice. And here we have blit glyphs. So basically, this is a positioned glyph. And we do the same here. And then we say we draw this. Oh, the positioned glyph has a draw function? The positioned glyph has a draw function. Positioned glyph has a draw function. Oh, it has a draw function. Oh? For each pixel in the rect given by pixel bounding box, O is called. So we get the X, the Y, and the coverage. That's basically what we want, right? So we call draw and give it a mutable function, and we call draw and just do this. We just do this. So instead of doing this, we say, this is our heck code. This shows we were roughly right. We don't have coordinate system mismatches. So what we're gonna say, for every glyph we call draw, and setting a pixel we know, right? So setting a pixel, and we need to overlay the pixel. So I'm going to ignore clipping and everything for now, but basically this is what we want, right? So for every X, don't ask why the formatting is totally broken. So for every X, every Y plus X, and we ignore the coverage here, and obviously it's not. We should really do clipping here, right? And I want the debug here to be gone. Oh, I guess this X here. It's relative to the min coordinates of the bounding box. Okay, so let X equal. Oh, in this case we put it back in here and just comment out our inner code here. And then we say X equals bb.min.x plus X. And let Y equal bb.min.y plus Y. I'm not so sure about using this library anymore. It seems a bit clumsy. It seems a bit clumsy and to handle all the clipping and stuff, but I will let you into a secret. All these functions for blocks and text, and I mean, I'm putting them into the elements that need them right now to get a feeling for what I need. But basically, in the end, I want a base library. The element should just say, okay, I need a line, I need a block, I need a rectangle, I need a circle, I need an image, I need text, and we extract that into some base functionality. Really, did we do the... It's too much. And our formatting is right, but I guess we say if v is larger than 0.5, then only if a pixel is covered more than half we set it. Otherwise we just, this will look rough. Look, we have text. We have text, we have text, we have text. So let's make this even bigger, and I'm not sure how the size is defined actually. So you see these rough edges? That is because we just do a hard clipping. What we actually should do is we should blend the pixel with the background and use this coverage factor. So if you remember our image element, this had a mix byte, and this had a mix RGBA with alpha. And it completely ignored the F value. We need the other variant now. So I'm gonna start to extract pixel functionality now, exactly now. So pixel.rs, and then in lib we say pop mod pixel, because I don't want to copy this code around. So I have a pop struct pixel and an implementation for pixel. Right, so let's go to layout, to columns, and have a image element here. So what we want is so a pixel has a color, right? And that's a U32 for now. Optimize structure later if we want, but then we have a pop function from RGBA. Let's say from you. We'll do a trade later. Don't want to go into create conversion traits, and that creates a pixel. Right, so we have pixel, and this is basically color U32, and this is basically color is color. Done. I mean, this is basically this, right? Yeah, it's never read. And what I actually want is have a pop function that is mix. It's blend. Basically blend with alpha, right? And that has 2 pixels. That has an A pixel and a B pixel for now. Just for now. And that returns another pixel, right? That returns another pixel, and that's basically, and then we have this internal function that says mix byte. mix byte. Yeah, shut up. So I'm gonna turn this back on. No, I'm gonna turn this back on because this is our test case, right? So if I run this now, it's the white text here that's still working that I'm looking after. Because I want to move this into the pixel so we only have the code once. So blend with alpha basically is let A equal A dot color, let B equal B dot color, which is not used, and then we can just copy this, which should probably be a helper. And then we just extract this, which should also be the same helper. And then we're just gonna say, okay, it's not element, image element is pixel, mix byte, pixel mix byte, and here we use ARGB. Right, so we just moved our code in here. So this means wherever we use this, so basically here we use pixel. Where's my? I'm all over the place right now. So let pixel let pix hey pixel equal pixel from u32, just to wrap it, and then say let old pixel equals pixel from u32 old pixel. Just, yeah, we're wrapping it just to unwrap it, but future. And then we say let pixel equals pixel mix RGBA with alpha. Probably it should just be mix. Let's blend with alpha. So blend with alpha is pixel over old pixel, right? And this is a pop function to u32 self u32 self dot color. Why? Yeah, I don't want the shorthand there. Basically, the buffer here is a pixel to u32. Unresolved import. Wait. Oh, it's create pixel. If I run this now, fingers crossed, nothing should have changed. Nothing should have changed, but we don't need this. This is gone. Both of them are gone, actually, I hope. Both of them are gone. So we pulled the functionality out of the class, so we can reuse that now. And basically we don't want a blend with alpha. We want a blend with factor. Right? So if we go to our text element now and say use create pixel, basically what we want to do here is we want to say let old pixel equals pixel from u32 buffer O. Right, this is the old stuff. Let new pixel equal pixel from u32, and that is just self.color, and this is just pixel to u32, and then we say, so in theory we could say let pixel equals pixel blend with alpha is the wrong thing. We don't want this here, but it's basically new pixel over old pixel, right? That would just do alpha blending. And that doesn't solve our edge problem here, but if we say the color of the color here, you never set the color, so let's set the color to, did we support? Yes. So let's set the color to, let's set it to white. So if we set the color to white here, and not sure why I opened the zip here. So it's white now, and it's full white. Let me move the font down so it overlaps the purple here so we see better. Let's say 600. We need auto reloading of, I have no idea why I'm doing that. I'm sorry. Not deep enough. 650 is probably too far down. Oh no, let's make this. Something is odd with our positioning, but we'll fix that later. So I wanted to show you the blending. So if I set the alpha to 50% now, then you can see the purple through here, and that's what we want. So we can have transparency in the color, which is nice for various things. Let's set this a bit higher so it's a bit more visible. That was probably too much. So this is nice, but it still leads to the jagged edges because we don't use the coverage. So if I go to my pixel now, and here we'll just copy this function, blend with alpha, and call it blend with alpha and opacity. And this is just the F32. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna we will multiply this by O and then do a SU8 again. Wait, let's make this easier. Let AA equal AA as F32 times F32 times O as U8. So now we have a function that takes the opacity. So instead of saying blend with alpha, we say blend with alpha and opacity view layout. Sorry about that. Nope, that auto-completion was... And we have the opacity. That's just the coverage, right? So we disable that. Maybe we should have a if coverage is 0 for performance, but can you see that the edges are now smoother? Much smoother? I mean, it's probably hard to see on the stream, but they are. And I'm actually gonna pull this. So if the coverage if the coverage is larger than 0, no need to do all these calculations for, hey, that pixel is not contributing anything. So we have clean font rendering and can even go semi-transparent, and I'm because I like this. What I want to do is, let's do the classic, let's offset this by, I don't know, 5 pixels and change the color of the background one to something dark. So not something dark, RG, dark bluish to be. So now we have this nice shadow effect, and this is starting to get somewhere. And obviously we don't want to render the text twice to get all of this, and actually this is not too shabby. It's highly inefficient to render every pixel of the font every single time, and we need clipping. And right now I want to set the foundation and then I make it stable and reusable, and I'm just playing around with various different things I want. I mean, obviously, probably I want the front text to be fully covered and just the shadow. And obviously the shadow should be the one that's offset and not the text. That looks weird. Having too much fun, stop this, but this is starting to look good. So what I'm gonna do now is gonna say build for the arm. I'm gonna copy over the config. I'm gonna copy over data. That was a bit much, but yeah. And I'm gonna copy over the binary because I want to know what. So it's not crashing. Shall we? Shall we? Shall we? Rendered by the Pi. Rendered by the Raspberry, and this is me like a lot. Shall we go all out? Shall we? Shall we do the... The alpha is still wrong because everything that turns greenish turns semi-transparent, and you can see especially here, if you look here, since we have the green background and then we render transparent stuff over it, we get this green, which makes it not only transparent, it also makes it greenish. I mean, we could just sacrifice a second port on the Atem and have a separate channel for the alpha. But in reality, I mean, what we would normally do is, let me turn this off. Let's stop this. So I want this at the very top. I want this at the top of the screen. And what we usually would do is let's take, yeah, white block is a stupid idea, but starting to compose our stream. So banner background block, and let's make this something grayish. And let's say that starts, let's put this at 1010, 1010, and make this most of this top of the screen. And I don't know, let's say, let's take a wild guess, 200. And then have the text over that. Let's try this locally first. Okay. Oh, I think we need to, yeah. Yeah, and obviously if you want the frame, wait. Why is this width? Yeah, 1920 minus 20 is not 1940. So the problem here is when we define y, we assume that's the upper left corner, but what we're actually defining is a lower left corner of the font. So what I will do in code here, and technically this is not what we want, but so what we will do here is when we render here, so start position here, the y is self.y plus self.size. Technically not 100% accurate because it's the... Let's not get into font stuff today. Yeah. So, and to remove the confusion, we have this banner title that we can disable. And then we make this, let's say half the size is enough, right? Half the size is enough. Positioning to be done, probably we want 25 here and 20. We are overdoing completely. Is this too big? Is this eating up too much screen estate? I mean, let's actually put this at the bottom. So this is 1080, 990, 980? Oh, 985. Tell you what, let's position the box first. So the box is 200 high, 1080, 10 boundary, 1070, 870. So it's at the bottom of the screen. So if I SCP, I want the config on the Pi. Oh, what did I do? So we definitely here we need to check that O is in bounds. So if O dot O is smaller than buffer dot length, then do something. Otherwise, it's just a hard boundary check. And O larger than 0, I mean, this probably, this will just wrap anyway, so. Oh, hi! Haven't seen you in a while. I need stream notifications. Let's copy it over to the Pi and see what we messed up. Shall we? Looking at this and my height, we have the thing roughly. I like the positioning, so let's stop this. Let's stop this. What I really wanted to do is so let's put the position here to 875 and this to 870. Run this locally. Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, and then we want 2 extra lines, right? So let's say, I mean, the name here could just be the same, but I want something smaller. And we use the text element, right? We want a text element. Position is yep. In the layouting needs to be done, so I want this deeper down. Which is exactly what I told it to do, align these two. And what was it? Bonus, dynamic data. Dynamic data, yeah, not today, but let's pretend. Let's pretend that we have bonus dynamic data. And that's another 50 down, so 10, 20. So if I do this, ignore detail layouting, still needs some work. I don't like the text doubling here, should probably be a variable. Can we render a colon in this font? Yeah. So if I scp, and that's just the config now, run this on the Pi, switch to the Pi and go to my OBS, and let's disable the stream overlay here. And then I go here and key it in. And this is close to what we wanted. Ignoring all the alpha problems. This is very close to what we wanted. I want dynamic data so I can put that in a file and load the string from a file, and it's not gonna happen today. It is just not gonna happen today. What's the time? Yeah, I'm running out of time, unfortunately, which is a bit sad, but we're getting there. We are getting there. I mean, I'm wondering if we need to work on the layouting, but looking at the text here, it's super crisp, so the coverage for the individual pixels did help a lot. Yeah, I still wish HDMI had alpha support. Oh, a ticker next, the scroller? Yeah, would be nice. And also right now we're loading the font 4 times, which isn't the smartest thing to do, so okay. Let's write this down before we forget this stuff. Yeah, let's leave it on screen. Actually, where is this banner test? This banner background thingy. I want this. I want this in front of the black box. I'm gonna turn this off for half a second. And obviously the positioning of the banner background should be more like... I have no idea how high it was, so let's put it at 800. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm, he said. Mm-hmm. Almost. I almost hit it, so... Obviously, this will need some layouting tools sometime in the future. But for now, I mean, you only configure that once and then it's good. Oh, shut up. Obviously it's 870 because we render the text at 870. I mean, that's... Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if I copy this config over to the Pi, too much debugging on the Pi going on, but basically, hey, this is our stream overlay. Dynamic stream overlay in Rust on Pi. I think our alpha blend. I saw it. If you look down here, the gradient here, I actually thought it's our keyer that's eating that. But looking at this pattern, I'm not so sure who's eating that. I am not so sure who's eating that. You're gonna go live later? Chat is there, that's why I'm talking to off screen. You gonna go live later? Okay. So, tell you what, let's commit this. I mean, this is work in project, so we started to extract stuff, so I like that. Oh, I was looking into the to-do. Clean arrow handling, clipping at buffer edges, clipping at buffer edges, font cache. Actually, I think we're gonna do the font cache next time. So git commit add basic text rendering. And it's all on GitHub. The font obviously is not, because of license stuff. I like it. I like it. I didn't expect such crisp font on the first try, so that's why I'm smiling. It's like better than expected. Much better than expected. So, bonus? 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 I still can't do that pointing on the screen thingy, so forgive me. I like... Oh, what I really want to do is animated images. And I'm super sorry about this, but so too much noise. Sorry about that, but it was getting... I'm gonna leave this on, so I am happy about this. So what do I mean with dynamic data? So right now every element is rendering, right? But what if we don't want to render something? We could have other elements, an element that, okay, let's say we want in the upper right hand corner, and I'm just gonna copy the white text here. I'm just gonna copy this and say in the upper right hand corner, yeah, the size is fine. So I say, let me do, let's say somewhere around 1500, and we really need positioning from the right, but, and then we say 100. Oh, width right now is unused, so I can set that to whatever I want. And what if I want the current time there? So I want 2026 there, right? So let's run the local version. So I want the current time in the corner, and that's not the corner. So, to do auto reloading on config change. So I could just edit and see the reloaded thing. But what if I wanted this? Nope. 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 I want this to the right and slightly higher up. I want this even further to the right and even further up. That's too far right. That's too far. Layouting to be done by tool where you can just drag and drop empty frames or something. So I want the time there. Oh, you see, I hard-coded the time. So what if I mean, I could have an element that said, I'm a clock, and do fancy animations and stuff. But what if here in text I could instead say, give me clock string, right? I mean, this is gonna blow up in my face now. Oh, nice, it's wrapping to the left because we don't do XY clipping, we do buffer corner clip. So we only clip here, we don't clip on the edges. But so how would I do that? And this is more like a theoretical example, and I'm going to cheat a bit. So what if, okay, what if we had something that says variables, variable store, variables, context? Context sounds good, because context, we could call it stack, but so we don't want to call it stack. So we have a context. So let's say pop struct context. And for simplicity, we have an enum context variable. Let's just make it simple. So context has variables, and this is just a hash map of string to string, right? obviously used it, collections, hash map. Do we want a B-tree hash map? Maybe, but why am I mumbling? And then we have a pop set mutable self. We keep it simple for now. Well, let's already prepare for set string name str to value str. Yeah, pop. Oh my goodness. And then we have a pop fn get string, which is just a self and a name, and that returns an option to a str. Right, so, and for now we just return none. I just rust hash map. This thing is too big. This thing needs to be smaller, but we're not gonna fix that today. So hash map, I want a set string, so I want an insert. Does it is insert replace? None is returned, did have the values updated in the old file. So insert is exactly what we want. So what we want is self.variables.insert name to string, value to string, right? Just put it in the map for now. Maybe this should have. We just want something where we put in named strings for the moment, and probably, yeah, nope. And then we have a get. And the get returns an option of a value. Yes, but we don't want to return our string here. So self.get name. And this is going to say, hey, oh. This is going to say, hey. You said I'm going to get a string and not a str. Well, you said I'm going to get a str and not a string. So I'm going to map this and say this is S, and then we map it to the reference. Oh, I keep doing this. I don't know why. What? Did I do too much Rust map? Option. That's when you want to be smart, right? I thought you could map an option like that. Was that Scala? So maps an option T to an option U. Oh. No? Expected? Ah. Yeah. And sref is that's better. It's probably time to stop. So now we have something that can store stuff. So what I want to do is we're going to change the element trait. I'm going to say use crate colon use crate colon what did we call it? Context. And we're going to say the update method receives a mutable context. I'll tell you why mutable in a minute. Yeah, I receives the mutable context reference, and all our traits are now wrong. So let's go to the block element and let's copy that one thing and then copy that other thing. That's why we do this early before we have 5 gazillion users of this library. And obviously we have to use create context. And I still haven't found a clean way to organize this stuff, so I'm still not, I don't like the context here, which always seems to happen, but so let's see. Obviously the update now needs a context in the cheval. So what I will do here is we have a context, and basically let's keep that context, and we need to derive the debug for the context, but that's fine. Context hash derive debug derive default. No, I want to derive debug. Okay, and then here we say self.context, and we set it's mutable. You will see why in a minute. And obviously the new here needs context is context new. Yeah, I should go default, but so nothing changed, but every method now gets the update. So what if, and let's say before the update here, cheating a little bit here, but we say context set string, and we set clock string, right? So we have something that sets a clock string, and we set that to, I don't know, what's it, 2039. Just to have something. Magic update needs self.context set string. So still nothing happening, right? But now the magic begins. Let's say the text element is smart, and this is actually the text, and then we have display text, which is another string, and then display text is just to string. This thing is too big, but basically here, instead of in the render, instead of here we use display text, and by default display text is just text. by default, we do nothing. So nothing changed, we just copied the value. But in the update, what we could do is, okay, let's say, so Rust, let's go to string. And I'm not gonna do I want to do in regex? I mean, technically, this is a regular expression, right? Yeah, let's do regex. Oh, there is no regex by default. Okay, looks about right. So standard dance. We add the regex code here and we say in text element and to be abstracted away, but can we actually more space? So okay, we use the regex. We use the regex. And then this is how you create one, and you can make them capturing optional, I guess. Reggae captures. Okay, and they can have named captures, which is nice. So let's do this. Let's do this. And this again needs to be extracted into a downwards library. So what's the syntax? It's just braces. This means optional or capturing? I don't want. Okay, here is W plus. Probably backslash D plus is fine. Probably backslash D2 is. No, it's not. It's dot plus, I would say. So let's go with this. So we have a regex. And this is the name. I'm not sure what the question mark P is. That's not found. Is this a different question mark from mine? Okay. No. Find a date. So this is just matching. I want the capturing matches. So capture groups. Okay, this is just positional capturing, which is fine for us. So we just use braces. So I just say dot plus, and it needs to be dollar, and dollar probably needs to be dollar is so this is a start and this is the end. So the dollar needs to be escape. If you wish to match for escaping a single space, escape it directly, escape sequences. Okay, works with any, so it's backslash dollar. and also for the curly braces. So basically it's this, this, this. And then we want to say if the whole thing, and probably at a later point we want to allow multiple, but let's go with that. So maybe we say RE capture. That's this. So we say RE captures and we say self dot text, and then we just debug this for the crake of it. What did I forget? RE is regex new. Is the documentation wrong? Oh, we should probably unwrap this. So it should spam caps now. It should spam the caps now. Spam the caps, spam the caps. We're long past our 1 hour mark. Online 92. Okay, let's say if let some caps equals no unwrapping. I mean, the user might have just hard-coded a string, so this will not always trigger. So we captured some clock string, so capture group. So the whole regex matches, which is 0. Maybe I should stop this. So the whole group matches, which is this, but this is what we're interested in. So we had something that looks like a variable and it's called clock string. So we know we will have a capture group. Right, it's clock string, and then we say, okay, if let some value equals context dot get string. Let's say this is our string syntax, and here we just say, and this is just for and we borrow this here. Oh. So we have a value now. So if all this works, and we just say self.display text equals value. And obviously this is a str. So this is the point where we copy it. Too much copying maybe, but and now you say, okay, all this stands to display that 2039 hard-coded? What have you been drinking? So what if we create an element now that says clock updater, or we have maybe clock string is just something that we say is done by the window. So rust get current time. I have no idea how that standard time system time. Yeah, standard time. So right here we say this is standard time. And then we say lock string, clock string equals format. And that is now dot. I have no idea what the what's it returning now. Now returns system time. And how do I get can I get the clock time from that? Maybe reading. Okay. Oh, come on. Rust convert system time to clock. Maybe chrono. Maybe this is better. Maybe chrono is better. Oh, why did I start my sample with time? I mean, time zones are. I don't want to do this. Rust get current local time. Nice help. Date and time. Oh. Chrono. Display formatted date and time. That would have been so easy, so. Okay. Yeah, that might have been better. Admittedly, I have to stop soon. I keep hitting the wrong keys. I'm sorry about that. But now I started this dynamic thingy and I will end it. Okay. Chrono equals type. I don't care. Datetime format. Now dot format. That looks promising. And then it's probably, let's not guess. We want to be quick. So I just want the format specifiers. So I want %h for the hour, and %m for the minute, 0 padded to 2 digits. Yes, so I want %h for the hour, %m for the minute. And then I just set this here. Format doesn't? What? Format returns a delayed format. What? Can I just get a format? Thank you. So obviously my time, it's using UTC, and I'm 2 hours ahead of that. So actually, let's say %s, and now my formatting probably is wrong. So where's it? 1920. We remove 60, 264, 50 per letter. So let's put this at 1560. Huh? Actually, let's put this at 1540. I mean, I would probably not suggest to have a stream overlay that overlays the current time, but the nice thing is we could, I mean, since we pass this context immutable, every element can tweak it. Right? So if, for example, we have, let's call this clock. Let's say we have a second clock thingy, and let's call this broken clock. All right, and it's just below that. I mean, right now we would have two working clocks. But in theory, our text element could say, okay, I managed to do all that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say context.setString clock string used. It's a very, very fake example. So the first clock uses up the string. So it could be an array, it could read from a file, it could be anything indirect. So an element doesn't have to render. We could have elements that load a Lua file, execute it, or download a website and update it. So this gives us quite a bit of flexibility, this context that we can mangle. And obviously also let's comment that out and actually disable this, but because it's too confusing. But obviously this here, this shouldn't be done here. To create a clock element or a date time element that provides various time element that provides info. I mean, it could even have a clock that goes wrong, goes forward at twice the speed for 5 minutes and then slows down to half the speed for 10 minutes or something like that. I mean, whatever. Whatever, but we're super flexible. What did I... Oh, yeah, nice try. Wait, what? Oh. Rust doesn't like triple slashes. I mean, it was an accident, but... So what we can do is, the overlay is still running. So let's stop this. Oh, wrong button. Let's build the ARM version. I hope all of this builds on ARM. Let's SCP the new config and SCP the new binary. Run this and look, we have the time. And now we have a time overlay. It could be countdown to the start of the stream, could be your Twitch chat, could be subscriber info, donations. I wanted to, oh yes, I want to create a Twitch module that creates like, do we want a hierarchy or do we just want names that are I'm so glad I used a monospaced font there. Yeah. Actually, why? This looks a bit creepy now. But, so, what we're gonna do is git status, git add source context rs, git commit add dynamic data. So, it's been nice. We made some nice progress and ooh, let's go hyper here and let's actually too much? Too much? Too much. Not too much. Thanks for being here. I'll continue with this on Tuesday. I'm not sure what's the next step. I'm tempted to work more on this dynamic data thing so we can have, for example, I want this text down here, this text to come from a file. And then I want this file to be watched so I can just go in, edit that file, or even upload that file to the Raspberry in the next frame, or maybe every few frames, it's automatically updated. So I never have to create a stream overlay anymore. And I'm thinking about actually creating a render to PNG buffer thingy. So you start at the same, but you just render one PNG. So I could import this into OBS, for example, if I don't want to run it on a Pi. So, as always, thanks for being here. We made nice progress. I shall see you on... Wait. Maybe I'll do some random stuff on Sunday, but not this project. So, see you on Tuesday. Thanks for being here. Love you all. Lights out. And... oh. Let's not. Let's keep the lights on and turn the stream off. Bye bye.